morning, student. Welcome to the class. I am teaching you chapter 5, respiratory system. In previous class, I have explained you about the stages of respiration. That is external respiration, that is known as breathing. And internal respiration. Which is also known as cellular respiration. Children, respiration is a physical or mechanical process. It involves in moving air into and out of the lungs to facilitate gas exchange, mostly by bringing in oxygen and flushing out carbon dioxide. Cellular respiration is what cells do to break up sugar into a form that the cell can use as energy. Cellular respirations take in food and uses it to create ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate. Dear children, adenosine triphosphate is a chemical and uses by the cell for energy. Usually this process uses oxygen. Now the next thing is sites of respiration. Site of respiration means from where the respiration take place. The respirations occur partially in cytoplasm and partially in the mitochondria. Cellular respirations occurs in your cells in an organelles that is mitochondria. Now types of respiration. There are two types of respiration. Aerobic respiration which needs oxygen, and anaerobic respiration which does not need oxygen. So types of respiration. Aerobic and anaerobic. Aerobic respiration which needs oxygen, and anaerobic respirations which do not need oxygen. Aerobic respiration is a biological process which food or glucose is converted into energy in the presence of oxygen. The chemical equations of aerobic respiration is C6H12O6 in the presence of, this is glucose, C6H12O6 is glucose, in the presence of oxygen. 6O2 is oxygen, this is glucose, in the presence of oxygen it gives you carbon dioxide, 6CO2, this is carbon dioxide plus what it will gives you, 6H2O, that is water, 6H2O, that is water, and it will gives you a lot of energy, that is 38 ATP. What is ATP? adenosine triphosphate. According to the equations, energy is released by splitting the glucose molecules with the help of oxygen gas. At the end of the chemical equation, this is the end of the chemical equation, what will happen? Yes, at the end of the chemical equation or the chemical reactions, energy releases, or as the byproduct or the end product of the reactions. Aerobic respiration is a process that takes place in all multicellular organisms, that is animals, plants and other living organisms. During the respiration process in plants, the oxygen gas enters the plant cell. As you all know that we are taking out carbon dioxide and we are breathing in oxygen. So all this equation is done, this reaction is done in multicellular organisms. Now what happened in plant? Because plants take out oxygen gas and breathe in carbon dioxide gas. So during the respiration process in plants, the oxygen gas enters the plant cells through the stomata, which is found in the epidermis of leaves and stems of a plant. With the help of the photosynthesis process, all green plants synthesize their food. Synthesize means prepare their food and thus release energy. So the equation in plant is like this: 6 carbon dioxide, 6 CO2, that is carbon dioxide, plus 6 H2O, water react together and give you glucose, that is C6H12O6. This is your glucose, plus 6O2 means they are releasing oxygen, 6O2 plus ATP. Anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration do not need oxygen. Is a type of respiration through which cells can break down sugars to generate energy in the absence of oxygen. This is a contrast to the highly efficient process of aerobic respiration, which rules on oxygens to produce energy. In simple words, you can say it is a type of cellular respiration in which breakdown of glucose takes place in absence of oxygen. In this process, glucose breakdown without oxygen. The chemical reactions transfers energy from glucose to the cell. Anaerobic respirations produce lactic acids, or you can say ethyl alcohol, rather than carbon dioxide and water. In aerobic respiration, carbon dioxide and waters are produced. But in anaerobic respiration, lactic acid, other name of lactic acid is ethyl alcohol, is produced. So the equation is like this: C6H12O6. This is your glucose, which are break down without oxygen and break it into ethyl alcohol or lactic acid. The formula of ethyl alcohol and lactic acid is 2C2H5OH, and it's give you plus 2 carbon dioxide plus ATP, but it releases a less amount of ATP, that is 2 ATP. Okay. Now respiration, uh, both glycolysis and fermentation take place in the fluid portion of the cytoplasm. Most of the lower organisms like bacteria and fungi use anaerobic respiration. The purpose of respiration in general is to turn food into energy that a living biological cells can use. Anaerobic respiration is respiration that uses any molecules beside oxygen to do this. So many bacteria and fungi use anaerobic respiration. Now dear children, one question arises in your mind, in my mind also. Did human beings uses anaerobic respiration? Yes, they can use, human and animals having lack of sufficient oxygen. When they have lack of sufficient oxygen, they will create ATP, though through a form of anaerobic respiration. That are products, that is byproducts are lactic acid or ethyl alcohol as a byproduct. The cell produced ATP through lactic acid. Fermentation only under when they have a lack of sufficient